Okay, 92%. I know we said that we were standing down, but 2 of our nephews were found unalive in a mountaintop in Bell Mountain, Georgia, which is also right next to and is a sundown town, and we need to talk about it. Deer and Nazir Lewis were on their way to see friends when they missed a flight, and they were found 24 hours later, shot to death at the top of Bell Mountain in Georgia. Initially, cops are trying to frame this as a murder-suicide, but their mother is saying they have never been anywhere near Bell Mountain, Georgia. They don't know about it as they are only 19. Now, they were supposed to get on a flight to go see friends in Texas, and they never made it, yet the police are not releasing any footage from them leaving the airport or even anything leading up to the moments where they missed their flight and left because of it. They don't know if they missed their flight because they were already unalived. They don't know if they missed their flight by accident and asked someone for help. They're just saying it was a murder-suicide. I have been digging into Bell Mountain where they were found, and it is known as Towns County. Towns County is a sundown town and has been for the longest. There was a sharp drop in black residents between the 1900s and 1910s and had 0 African Americans within its borders from 1920 to 1940. Evidence suggests that the seat of East County, which is where they are, had a reputation for violence against African Americans, particularly after nightfall. Census from 2020 and 2000 can confirm that there were only 12 black residents in this county and the nearby city where these people were found. Don't believe me that Bell Mountain in Georgia is located in Towns County. It's right there, and the nearby town is East, and Bell Mountain is situated near the town of East, which is right where these boys were. 92%. This story is not getting the attention it needs, and I'm telling you, this is not right, and those boys did not just leave that airport. Their mother is saying they don't even know about Bell Mountain.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. On our today's episode, we're looking into this very sad story of a family that's seeking answers after twin brothers aged 19 were found unalived in Bell Mountain, located in Towns County, Georgia, which has a history of a sundown town. You all know what sundown towns are, and people are reacting on this and want answers onto what happened to these twins. Reports have not yet said the cause of their demise, although the Georgia Bureau of Investigation had earlier suggested that it was a murder-suicide. However, the official cause of their demise is still pending further forensic analysis. I want us to watch these videos together, guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my good name is Gracey D. Kindly consider subscribing to this channel, give this video a like, and let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. So let's dive right ahead, and we'll come back with more commentary.
These twin brothers had a flight booked for Boston at 7 a.m. last Friday, but they never made their flight, and just 24 hours later, they were found deceased in Hiwassee, Georgia, up there in Bell Mountain. The milk stinks, and the water stinks. This was Quadir and Nazir Lewis. They were twins. They were 90 miles. They were found 90 miles deceased in Hiwassee, Georgia, up there in Bell Mountain. That is Towns County. Now, the police department, GBI and all them, they are treating this as that they did it to themselves. But we know better down there in Georgia, because many times they're going to cover stuff up down there in Georgia. It doesn't matter who it is. And I have no faith in them to actually get to the truth.
We want answers. We want to know exactly what happened to the twins. They're
very protective of each other. They love each other. They're like inseparable. So I can imagine them hurting each other, because I never even seen them get into a fist fight before.
We never heard from them. They missed their flight. We don't know what happened. How they end out in the mountains, they don't hike out there. They never even been out there. They don't know nothing about Hiwassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountains. So how did it end up right there?
They had a huge support system. Like, we know them that they wouldn't do anything like this. So to say that they did this to each other when they come from a family of love, and they love each other, they always together, I don't believe that. They didn't do this to each other. Something happened in those mountains, and we want answers.
Now, this is Bell Mountain. This right here is beautiful scenery, beautiful. But I always recommend never go up there alone. I always go with a group of 10 or more people. if you look like us. Now, I don't know if they have any upgrades up there because I've been there before in the past and it's gorgeous. But I wonder if they have any cameras in that area because that's going to tell the story. Now, let me get to the part to why I say that the milk stinks and the water stinks. And there's going to be some cover up. Now, where these mountains are located, this park and everything, it's right there in Towns County. Hiwassee is part of Towns County. And you read this right here. Just pause to read. You see that, right? It's not for us. And this march right here, that wasn't that long ago. This right here wasn't that long ago, but that is right there what's up in that county. And this is another reason. You see this map right here. This is the map of Georgia, okay? This is the map of Georgia. And you see that name down there, the Southern Poverty Law Center. You know what type of groups that they track, right? Go look them up. But this right here is Georgia. I want you to notice three things on here. The number 24, the number 3, and the number 2. 24, 3, and 2. You see where they're located. That's at the top of Georgia right there, North Georgia. Now look at this map. You see right there where that red dot is? That right there is Hiwassee, Georgia. That's where that park is. But right there in Bell Mountain, Towns County. You see it? Is it starting to make sense to you now? Is it starting to make a lot more sense? 24, 3, and 2. You see it. And then those striped lines right there, it tells you that it's all throughout the state of Georgia. All throughout. They're spread out sporadically. And the little dots right through here. But right there, you see where the 24, 3, and 2 is. You know, you see the 7, 2, and the 4 also. But those are how many groups are in that area. How many groups? Go look up the Southern Poverty Law Center. It'll tell you who they are. I showed you all that to say this right here. They didn't do that to themselves. They didn't do that to themselves. And plus, I put out a video a couple of weeks ago telling everybody and warning everybody what is to come, what people are out here doing, and how they are targeting us. Because they made it plain and simple, and they said it very loud. Also, let me say this. That Hiwassee, Georgia is right there at the North Carolina line. There's a whole lot more groups on the other side of that line, right through there. Also on this line right here, too. But there's a lot more groups right there in North Carolina. At that line. So the Lewis and the Bronner family, y'all need to get an independent investigator. You need to get an independent investigator to look at this because they're going to try to cover this up because they know what's down there. They know what they've been doing for years. And don't forget their reputation towards people that look like us. I hope the truth actually comes out because they're going to try to cover this up. I hope it comes out.
It ain't no way in hell that these two twins, Nazir and Quadir Lewis, missed their flight to Boston, but was found 90 miles from their daggone home in the mountains. Bell Mountains to be exact. Like, you fucking lying. Ain't no daggone way y'all gonna sit here on this daggone internet and try to act like them daggone boys. This is a suicide murder. This is what the news and stuff and police are basically trying to say. Now, I ain't no detective or nothing, but from reading their story and basically listening to their family members, how they spoke so good of them, this is not no daggone murder suicide. Someone obviously took these two boys and unalived them. So why is the police and news people basically trying to say that it's a murder suicide knowing damn well these boys did not unalive themselves? Now the family is waiting on the toxicology report to come back, and I'm also waiting to see what they're gonna say when it comes to these two boys, because I know without a doubt that these boys did not unalive themselves. These two twin boys, like, please. All I know is if anybody have any information when it comes to this story, if y'all seen anything, please speak up, because this family need their closure. Like, they need their closure. Period, point blank. So if you've seen or know anything when it comes to these two twin boys, please call the nearest police department and let them know. Just know I am praying for the Lewis family. Y'all should not even be going through this. 19 years old. They were 19 years old, y'all. Like, I'll be back with part 2 when I get a lot more information on these two twin boys' stories. Nazir and Quadir, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, boys, that we live in this fucked up world.
So the GBI really wants us to believe that these twin boys out of Metro Atlanta, whose bodies were discovered by hikers with was on some evil twin if you do it I'ma do it type shit, as they're saying their preliminary investigations suggest a murder theory, though the investigation is still ongoing. And what's crazy is the more that the family learns, the more questions arise, as their family literally never imagined that they would find themselves in this nightmare. As their relatives said, the boys had plans to visit Boston on March 7th, just 24 hours before. They were found miles away in this remote park, a park that they had never heard of. And what's even more concerning is no one knew they even had plans to travel to Hiwassee. Now, you see, this is a small town with a chilling atmosphere. I mean, Google reviews from today even hint that something is off, something is unsettling. Which is why, again, the family believes there's more to the story than what we're being told. Their bond was inseparable. The family believes that the twins, who even dreamed of starting their own clothing line, would never hurt each other. Their uncle said they never even saw them fight. To make shit even crazier, let's not forget that this whole law enforcement area has been in some fire before. The sheriff lost his mind, called this sergeant a fuckboy, and so the tensions between the law enforcement agencies just raise even more doubt about the investigation's transparency. And now with the discovery of the twins' bodies, there's a growing sense that something way darker could be going on with this case. So the question is, did the boys make it up to Bell Mountain on their own? Their aunt feels that that's something that needs to be uncovered, and a lot of other people feel these answers need to be uncovered as well, as over $24,000 has been raised, as the family needs answers and they need our support. But rest in peace to these twin boys. Let's do what we can to get their family some answers. Be sure to give me a follow to stay up to date with all breaking information on this case and so much more, and until next time, bye bye.
Have y'all heard about the two black twin boys whose bodies were found in the mountains of Georgia? Their names are Quadir and Nazir Lewis. This happened on Saturday. Today is Monday. Yesterday on Sunday, the police tried to convince the family that it was a self-unaliving and an unaliving of the twin brother. When have y'all ever seen an investigation being closed out that quickly or determined when you found two random bodies in the woods? Not to mention, they were on their way to go see friends in Boston and missed their flight. And their bodies happened to be found in a part of Georgia that they had never been to, which also just so happens to be a sundown town. So you want people to believe that they missed their flight to go see their friends, and instead of doing anything else, they decided to go for a random hike in a sundown town in a part of Georgia that they had never been to before. And on top of all that, they still haven't mentioned the two young boys having a history of ideations and wanting to harm themselves or others. So what made you determine that that was the cause? I'm confused. It seems like a cover-up to me.
Guys, it's such a sad thing seeing such things happening, and the fact that the parents or the family is already saying that they don't know this place, they've never been to this place. And you know, I don't even want to think how they're feeling, like as a mother, as a dad, as a sister, or as a sibling, just sitting there thinking that your siblings or your kids were just going to an airport to go and meet friends and they'll be back home only to get them back when they're deceased. I mean, this is the saddest thing that can ever happen to a mother or a father or, you know, any person. It's quite sad, and my heart goes to the family of these two young men. It's saddening that it has to be Black men facing the same thing. And watching this video and many other videos that I've watched, it actually made me realize how hard it must be to be a Black man in the United States of America. How hard it must be as a father or as a mom or as a parent raising a Black man in the United States of America. Because these are just two 19-year-old teenagers. Like, I can't even want to think what someone would be thinking in their mind, or how sick someone has to be just to go and unalive innocent souls, people that have not hurt them in any way. And since that day, since they were discovered up to now, they haven't received any, or the family hasn't received any cause of their demise. One of the articles that I was actually going through, these two twins actually used to reside in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and they had plans to visit friends in Boston and were scheduled to fly out on March 7. They missed their flight, and their airline tickets were later found in their wallets at the scene. Family members dispute the murder-suicide theory, emphasizing that the brothers' close relationship and lack of any known connection to Bell Mountain. They are advocating for a more in-depth investigation into the circumstances surrounding the deaths. But as we're speaking, the Georgia Bureau investigation remains active and ongoing, with autopsy results awaiting additional forensic tests before final conclusions are drawn. I mean, there have to be answers, as everyone is asking, and in most cases, or we see so many cases being solved like quite fast. If this case actually involved a Caucasian man, it would have been an easy investigation for them. They would have already found the suspect in this case. Even if we don't have all the answers, I believe after everything that I've watched and what I've read about these two young men, they didn't unalive themselves. They didn't do this to themselves. And there is also, in a related development, there is a guy by the name Scott Carlin, a 42-year-old volunteer firefighter, was arrested and charged with misdemeanor obstruction for allegedly sharing photos from the death scenes. He has since been terminated from his position for violating departmental protocols. So, like, why would he even go on ahead and share these photos when there's still investigation going on? I don't know. There's so many questions that you can ask yourselves in this, and people are asking so many questions and they need answers. On ahead and, researched a little bit about this Bell Mountain, where is located in Towns County, Georgia, near the city of Hawaii. Historically, Towns County has been identified as a sundown town. You all know what a sundown town is, or if you don't know, you can easily go and check that one out on Google. So specific incidents highlighting these exclusions include threats made against black basketball player during a game in Towns County around 1972 or 1973. Additionally, reports from hikers in the area have noted local sentiments discouraging black individuals from being in the county after dark. Even you've seen this video of the second guy or that guy talking on these same videos that I'm actually reacting on. He also said that if it's you have beautiful scenes when you go on that hike and all that, but he's also saying that he don't go for a hike by himself, and if he's going for that hike, if he really needs to, he has to go with people that look like him. For you all that get me. And I went on ahead and did a little bit research of how many Black Americans are there in Towns County. And by 2023, the population is 213 people, like 213, representing 1.67% of the total population. So this is the census as per 2023. It's quite sad to see this happening to melanated men in the United States of America. How many more of these stories do we have to come across until this stops? And now with the way that I've seen people reacting, the way I've seen people doing crazy things to other people just because they won the election and they want to do things as they wish, because most of them feel like after they won the election, they were given a straight ticket to doing what they want. They were given a straight ticket to treating people as they want. And now most people are very angry right now, After them winning the election, they are still not happy. Not all of them, but a good number of them are still angry and want to blame everything that's happening to everyone else apart from themselves and their leader. And it's quite sad. And this is the part that we all say that Black Americans, Black people all living in the United States of America, these are the times that you all have to be very careful out there. If you have young kids, don't let them go anywhere by themselves. Even if they're 19 years old, you don't know what's waiting for them out there. Like, you have to be very careful. Don't let your kids go to the airport by themselves. It's not like I'm blaming these parents or this family, but this has to be taken as a lesson. Don't let your kids be out there by themselves, because most people are just trying on how to release their anger. They're trying to look for people that they can blame everything that's happening in the country because they don't want to be accountable. They thought that their privilege that they've always like rided on, that this time is gonna save them. They don't know how to survive everything that's happening. Some of them, we see how some act when they are very stressed. We see how they behave when they don't want to be accountable and they have to look for people to blame on. Even after everything that has been happening, some of them still don't want to blame it on their leader. Some of them don't want to take accountability and say, I voted for this and this is why things are happening. It's so sad that this happened to these young men, and it's so sad that their family has to go through this. And I hope that they get to find answers, and I hope that whoever is responsible for this will have to pay, and I hope that justice will be served, guys. So sorry, may their souls rest in peace, and all I can pray is that may God grant their family grace as they're going through these hard times and through these trial times. And let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. This story, we haven't seen a lot of it being covered on mainstream media. I don't know what the reason is, but you all know how things are out there. So let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.